do have a global map of the ocean's floor, the ocean seafloor. We have global maps of the surface of the oceans, because we see all the time, almost every day in the media now, there is some kind of map that tells you or shows you about sea surface temperature and how the oceans are warming and the connections to global climate and the whole crisis, if you will, of climate change and global warming. But when you zoom in, that's where the discussion of unchartedness, I think, comes into play. And in the oceans, we have a special problem in that it's water, and these satellite sensors cannot see all the way through the water. So a lot of the global maps that we see come from satellites. But if you would like to zoom into San Diego Harbor, for instance, or look at one of our national marine sanctuaries in detail and try to understand what the seascape is on the same level as a hiking map that you would take into a national park, that's where we have a difficulty, because we have to have, I believe, sensors that are deployed on the water and in the water that use sound rather than electromagnetic energy. That's what we need in order to get those more detailed maps. And this is where my colleague Rafael, as a professional hydrographer, surveyor, can explain in more detail why that's needed.
Well, you know, I'm a naval officer, so the charts are complete enough for navigation, but for science and exploration, probably.
And I would say that even for navigation, probably is not enough in some areas. We are seeing on the polar circles with the ice melting, there are new shipping routes opening in the North Pole, and it's not adequate surveyed, and there are not enough charts with the level of detail that is required. So even those main shipping routes and those new shipping routes are not, in some cases, well surveyed, let alone the rest of the ocean, the deep parts of the ocean that we know very little about. And I was just reading a couple of weeks ago about these new 4 volcanoes that appear outside in front, across of Sydney in Australia.
How can they miss something the size of a volcano?
Yeah, the tallest one is 700 meters tall, and they extend 20 kilometers. And they were discovered by marine biologists doing some other study. So that gives us an idea of how little we know about the seabed.
Is it true that we have Mars mapped better than we have the ocean?
Yeah, it's an old say, but it's true. We know more about the Mars surface than about our ocean.
A colleague used a really terrific analogy. What our challenge is similar to if you went into a dark football stadium, where we have Petco Park across the street here, and turn off all the lights at Petco baseball stadium and try to find your seat or try to find the dugout using a flashlight in total darkness. And that's what we're facing in the oceans in terms of the quality of the coverage and the available sensors that we